Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all people, pull up a seat for yourself and an extra one for your mother. Grab the good popcorn and move the game to your second monitor. It is time for PODCASTIDIOUS. Welcome to episode 1 of PODCASTIDIOUS. A big welcome to our 6 guests and the 5 big channel winners of the Rising WoR CC Award. We have Jake Smash, we have Slate, Banana Luck, Mortar Mike, Jay, and Geo. That's the order of the vote getters. So Jake was our big winner, but the prizes all go to the top 5. We had like 44 different creators receive votes, which was very exciting. I'll probably talk more about the actual award very briefly later on. But right now, all you need to know is these are 5 amazing channels, 6 amazing creators. That 5 and 6 is going to trip me up, Jay and Joe. So thanks for that. Our best coupled channel in the realm. But yeah, I think maybe let's very quickly go down the line, like 1 or 2 sentences, let's say 2 or 3 sentences, introduce yourself. When we're going to go, what I was saying is I was going to go in order of the vote, Scott. Jake was number 1, but it looked so beautiful with that banana in the middle, even though Banana Luck was number 2. I hope he doesn't mind going 3rd because that banana in the middle is too perfect. So we'll go right down the line, starting with Jake. You guys want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name is Jake Smash. I started putting out content about 6 months ago-ish, and mostly I try to help people clear stuff. So I do tutorials and takeovers for the most part.
Hi everyone, I'm Slate. I started my channel just a couple months ago, actually. I'm on month 4 now. I'm probably known for my GVG stuff, which I obviously adore, but I'm really into just making guides and anything that is, again, going to help you clear content. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind and it's great fun.
That's awesome. And I will just quickly take an aside. I decided this season I'm taking GVG seriously. I streamed my attacks last night. They went terribly. So you're on my very short... I was the last person in my guild to go, so it was only like the hardest Praetus teams left. That's my fault.
That's the time to never start.
Yeah, but I just want to say Slate is very much on my super short list of people I'm going to bother a lot in the coming 7 weeks or whatever.
Hey guys, Banana Luck here. So I started this channel right after the game launch, I think. So I'm actually a marketer by trading. So this was sort of like my pet project, and I obviously don't put in as much effort as these guys here, but really enjoy helping people, so here I am.
I think you put in a really good effort, and without a doubt, the viewers really appreciate what you do. You had a ton of votes, not just in this vote, but in the main vote as well and I guess this is a good moment. The reason I made this thing is because like it became a popularity contest on the other thing, and this should be a way to bring attention to channels. So that's why I created the Rising CC Award. And it really was a success, and a lot of people chipped in, including Jake and Ivy and, of course, Moonton. And you guys got better rewards than I'm going to get for the other award voting. So that's pretty fun. And yeah, Banana, you got a ton of votes in both. So that's crazy. Very established, maybe not rising, but certainly always on the upward trajectory. You've kind of already risen. And another person who's maybe already risen, who I almost didn't want to include in the vote because he already had so many subscribers, but Seamus convinced me to do less than 2,000, not less than 1,000. We have Mortar Mike. How you doing, Mike?
What is happening? What is cracking? I'm just here to have a good time, to be honest. Isn't it obvious? Yeah. But yeah, look, don't knock yourself, bro. You know how many videos I've watched so far? Tons.
Awesome. And finally, the power couple of the realm. We've got Jay and Joe. Not Geo, Joe.
There you go. Yeah, the competition is stiff. There's a lot of other couple channels we had to really like knock down, to get up this far.
Incredible stuff. All right, so this is our inaugural episode. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be pretty loosey-goosey. I've never done something like this before. Basically, since we've got all different people from all different walks of life, and very interestingly, we've got 6 different time zones represented if you count me. So we've got me at, what am I, I'm UTC -6, all the way up to Banana Luck over here at UTC +8. And not a single one of us, aside from Jay and Joe, who live together, of the 6 different channels represented on your screen, not a single pair are in the same time zone. So we have 6 different time zones represented over a 14-hour span. So it's the early, not that early anymore. It's the morning for me, and it's fairly late at night for Banana Luck. Everyone else is in between. So I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone here. Chat's already asking questions. We might, if we have time at the end, do a big chat Q&A. I think I've got enough here to start for now. But one of these questions is actually one that's already on my list. However, fairly briefly, I think we can just go down the line. I'd love to know what got you guys into content creation in the first place. If you don't know, we have 3 soldiers on our screen. We have a marketer in Banana Luck. We have whatever Slate and Joe do. I don't know, so you'll have to tell me. And yeah, you have me, who's a big mess. So I'd love to hear from you guys what got you into the whole thing. Maybe starting with Jake.
All right. Well, like almost all of us, I used to play Raid Shadow Legends, right? And I played it a lot for a few years and really enjoyed it. Had a very advanced account and thought that I would try my hand at content creation there. However, where I lived at the time, my internet was so terrible that it would literally take 10, 12 plus hours to upload a video. Like sometimes I would try to upload it before I left for work at the beginning of the day, and I would come home 15, 16 hours later and the internet would have just died and it didn't upload at all. So absolute failure due to resources. So then fast forward, I quit Raid Shadow Legends. I start playing this game and I really enjoy it. And that content creation idea is in the back of my head. But I never actually act on it until Arena 2.0 went live in January. And that week, I just happened to be pushing for the top spot in Arena the same week that we had the big change, and noticed what I thought was a bug at the time where people weren't losing points when they would lose a match, and just on the spot decided to put out a video to cover it. And by some miracle, Fastidious actually saw the video because it was the first one that I had done, and somehow he saw it and covered it with me for the rest of that week once or twice, and then I just decided to keep doing it. So yeah, a string of strange circumstances, and just decided to keep going with it.
Yeah, and you've got some amazing guides. You're my go-to person when people need help. With faction trials, you've got amazing content in general. When people need help with infernal faction trials and my video doesn't do it and they start whining to me, I'm like, Jake has like 3 amazing better videos. Just go over there. I'm saying that all the time. And I will say, not miracle because me watching something is so special, but actually the instance of it happening in the first place is special because I do not watch content. I'm working on it. I'm trying to watch more content, but it's hard for me to find the time and then to be interested in it after I've been working on that separately all day. But your video just popped up. I loved your thumbnail. It was like you with the vertical pic like this, and it was saying like Arena's broken and had like 30 views. And I was like, this is so interesting. And then we started talking, and you'd ended up being an amazing content creator. So that's awesome. Yeah, I love your thumbnails, Jake. I told you from the very first video, I think, I'm like, you have to keep doing this style. It's like unique and it's awesome.
You told me you loved the selfie cam, which I think honestly might have been part of what, kind of pushed me to keep doing it, because obviously that's not the standard in this business. And so I might not have done it had I not had that little positive reinforcement from you. Who knows?
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to take credit for any of your success, but I will say, I think the selfie cam is really cool. I think anything that's unique is cool. It's easy to have, some white guy on the screen yelling at you like I am at the nice edited thing. But if it's a selfie cam, or you have professional, incredible equipment like Mike, or you're Banana Luck with a beautiful banana, or you're a couple, or you're Slate's awesome. I was trying to think of you know what I'm saying? Like having a USP is cool. And I think you obviously in like whatever, I'm assuming this is the undershirt you wear at work. It's such a vibe. It's very unique. And for me, it made me a big fan. On to Slate. How are you, ma'am? What's going on?
Hi. Good.
So what got you into this content creation? You probably, if I'm not mistaken, are the best representative of how I envision this award. Because I think when we started the voting, you were less than 1,000 subs. You had only been doing it for a couple months. A lot of these guys had already risen. Maybe Jay and Joe were also fairly new, but you guys shot right up too. We'll get to you guys in a minute, but talk to me. Congratulations, and what got you into it?
Yeah, so I started playing Watch Your Realms last September. I'm an X-Raid player as well. And yeah, I enjoyed it, was playing, and then basically what happened was my guild, who are the Shire, big shout out to all the guys, turned around and we were having a GVG. It was a really tough match, and they were like, we need a Winston Churchill speech. And I was like, on it. And so I did a Winston Churchill speech in the like guild chat, did the voice note, right? And I was like, come on guys, we can do this. And they were like, you've got a really good voice. You should try content creation. And I went, okay. So I decided, you know what, I'll put out a few videos. I did it just voice to start with. Because I wasn't like, I'm the most tech illiterate person out there. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then, yeah, I put one video out in March. I realized I thought I started April. I actually put one out in March. And then it has literally been a whirlwind 4 months. And I just hit 1.5 thousand subscribers. Wow. I am over the moon. Because like, it just blows my mind that like, there's that many people out there who are just like, hey, you know, supporting. And yeah, it's really, really, you know, humbling, I think.
Absolutely. And you do have a very nice lilt to your voice. It's, to me as an American, it sounds a little posh, but in a good way. Very charming. But I think most important, like, and this is something we're not going to talk about now because I've talked about it, Jake's talked about it, but like with the certain other votes we had, I think diminished that the fact at the core of it, you have like some of the most high-end endgame content, especially for things like GVG. And that is the core of your channel. Like the voice is great, but at the end of the day, like I'm going to have to start actually binging a few of those videos because I need to start taking this thing more serious. And you've got some really high strategic kind of content that people should definitely be checking out. So our number 2 vote getter, but the center, the heart of our screen, we have a big, yellow, beautiful banana. How are you doing, Banana Luck? I think you're the only person here I've never had on the channel before. So I think this is, no offense to everyone else, this is very exciting for me. I love meeting new people. Great to have you here. And I'd love to hear about your content creation journey, how you got started. I mean, you mentioned before we were starting that you've been doing it since launch, or maybe right when you did your intros. So maybe even earlier than me. Do you remember when your first video was?
I think my first video, I was trying to do it prim and proper. So I think I said like, I posted a video talking about how free-to-play friendly this game was. And yeah, I think back then I got really lucky because I started the game with a Zillitu. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, people probably hated me, and I got like 3 legendaries in my first night. So
wow.
My friend who introduced this game to me thought I was pretty lucky, and like, you know, maybe I should try content creation because I did do it in the past, but I got busy and then I fell off, and then I had quite a bit of time on work, off work, so I decided to start this off, and honestly just wanted to like post videos of me summoning and all that. And I think after a while I just realized that summoning videos don't really like captivate your viewers unless you got really lucky, which I don't most of the time. Even though my name is Banana Luck. Yeah, and I think it's been a great journey. I think especially when I started seeing comments coming in, people saying that, oh, your guides really helped me a lot, and like people asking questions and, you know, trying to help them there on the comments. And I really like the idea of takeovers, but after just doing one single takeover, I realized how time consuming it was.
Thank you.
Sorting through people's gears, and like when they ask you to like do like samurai, and then you realize that they don't even have a single maxed out artifact, it just makes me want to rip my brains out. So yeah, I have no idea how you guys do it, but maybe if you like, you know, ask people to pay for it, then, you know, it's better worth your time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate you saying that. I just passed my 500th takeover. I've done a lot. And I do charge for them. And the only reason my price has ever gone up, at the beginning, I was charging like $40, which quite frankly, I just thought was fair for my time. The reason the price has only ever gone up is to mitigate demand. Because as you said, it is so time consuming. Some of them are fast, but some of them really aren't. So you just have to find a price that makes less people ask you. Otherwise, there are not enough hours in the day. So I appreciate you saying that. I do want to say you touched on something that I didn't have on my list, but could be kind of fun to talk about later on. We'll see where the conversation takes us. I don't want to go too long. But yeah, finding your niche, because, you know, like not everything's going to succeed for you specifically is going to click in your channel. And I think that is a really interesting thing people don't think about. You know, people are always asking me, now I'm going to cover it just because I want to for the challenge, like with GVG, but people are like, why don't you cover GVG? Part of that's personal because like I don't spend money. I do have a very nice account thanks to the, at this point, probably a couple 100,000 diamonds I've gotten in content creator awards. That's probably 200,000 or 300,000. But it's not that good. And there's no ancient heroes. There's no lords. So for me, it kind of feels like hitting my head against the wall. But also, I'll be honest, for me, I've posted a little bit of GVG content and it didn't connect with the audience. You know, I might have a slightly broader audience that aren't into more endgame stuff that, like, you know, Slate has clearly an amazing job at, or Blunt Guts does an amazing job at, you know? So I think that's a really interesting topic. And I want to say one more thing that I really admire about you, Banana Luck. It is easier to make content without a face cam, but I think it says something that you're the only one without a face cam here, because it's harder to succeed without a face cam. So I think doing that is very impressive, especially, you've been plugging at it so long, and I see you mentioned in my comments a lot. Like, people definitely really appreciate your content. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, not having a face definitely sucks, because I studied marketing, so I know how having a face there probably connects better with your audience, but it's just not worth the hassle. Like, returning back from work and having to, like, still touch up myself and look presentable for the camera, that's just not cut out for me. So respect to you guys, all of you guys, for doing it. Yeah,
I bet you always look representable. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is easier to make content without it, but it is hard to succeed. So I think that's something that should be applauded. Someone with a face cam, and I think I can confidently say the crispest face cam in the realm. Mike is a professional video editor and photo editor, and it frickin' shows. He's got the blur in the background. We can see every glisten on his dimples. How you doing, Mike? You've been definitely the one that's been on my channel the most. I had you on my channel back when, just similar to Jake, I think you had 35 subs. You just hopped on a stream for like 2 hours on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. How you doing?
Bro, it was literally I finished taking out the presents, because all dads become tech support on Christmas Day. Fixing all the toys and putting batteries in. And I was like, you know what, let me just do something different, just hop on here. And I think it was Alter Ego or Dolores. She was like, hey,
yeah, Dolores.
And we just hopped on and just had a good time. And
it was funny. It was funny because
what I like to do.
Dolores had been messaging me a lot, saying, for like, well, not a lot, for like 3 days or 4 days, saying, oh, there's a new creator, his name's Mike, you will really like him. And I was like, busy, and I was like, all right, that's something I'll get to. And then like 3 days later, I was in stream, and you were, as you do, you were taking over my chat, and I was like, oh, he's here, okay, you want to come on? And yeah.
Yeah, so like that's just a big passion. It's just like, I enjoy that people enjoy what they're doing, and I figure that's the biggest component of playing a game. If you're not enjoying the game, like most of us came back from playing like raid, we're recovering raid players. Most of us don't, like, we stopped playing because we just didn't enjoy it anymore. And one of the big things is being around a community of people that are having fun, even if they have things they like or dislike. At the end of the day, it should still be fun to play a game. It's a game. It should be actually enjoyable. So
that is that's a great point. I think I'm not this is something we could also talk about at some point, or probably in another podcast, or will eventually come out. Like, I talk about it a lot. I'm not like a gamer by trade. So the idea that I would ever play a game for any reason other than fun, or I guess now it's my job, is unthinkable. I could never play a game because I feel like it wasn't fun. So that's great. Yeah. And but I do want to touch quickly though, before we move on to Jay and Joe, and then we really kick off this podcast. What got you into it though? Because I mean, you had the tools to do this at any moment for a long time. So what made you finally go and start making some videos?
1 word, 3 letters, Ash. Ash was the reason I actually started making content. Also 5 letters, Osama, his editor. I would just watch his videos for Raid Shadow Legends a whole bunch, and I was like, man, I just love the way the edits look. And I was doing it for clients, but I got my camera up here, and if I'm not filming content, I'm doing Zoom meetings. I'm like, I could do better than this. I could do better than just sit up with a camera and just talk to people. So I was like, let me try just making some stuff. My first video, I'm crazy nervous, but like now I jump on the video like my best friends on the other side of the screen, because that's really how I felt. Well, yeah, it's just been, I enjoyed it. I like the energy that he gave. I love that he never considered himself like one of the top like veterans of knowing how to do everything in the game. And I think people enjoy that. Whether that's a podium or not, people enjoy that kind of thing. I was like, you know what? Let me do that. And plus, last but not least, Deadwood Jedi was somebody that I really enjoyed.
He's awesome.
Brought the community together. Yeah, I love how you brought the community together and do a whole bunch of different things. So I was like, I want to bring that to this game. And
Yeah.
you just start and let me not open Zoom next time I open the camera. So
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it. And definitely, I wanted to say you are our Ash, but we already have Ash as our Ash. But Ash is doing so many thousands of things. You're our dedicated Ash. And I think you won the most, what is it, the most charismatic or the most energetic or something award. Definitely well earned.
yes, yes, I feel good. I need to make like a 3D printed Best Vibes plaque. And like,
Best vibes. That's what it is. Well earned. Thank you, Mike. On to Jay and Joe. We just had a video come out together a couple days ago, our first collab. How are you two doing? Maybe let's start with Joe, because Jay is ever the incredible spokesperson. He's an incredible talker. Gift of the gab, I might say.
Yeah. Well, hi, everybody. And we started this channel, I think, 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. We had been playing for a month, and then we're like, you know what?
No.
Yeah, I think a month.
Okay, sure. Okay. All right. You're
A
right.
month, maybe 2.
Let her go.
But and then we decided, because
Why did you tell you were it was your idea?
yeah, it was.
Why
my
did you
idea.
want to start?
Well, we had been consuming a lot of videos. Like, we kept watching everybody, summoning videos especially. And we're like, you know what? We're getting a ton of luck, because we had some insane openings.
Must be nice.
Crazy luck. Yeah, he's the one that gets up, and I would open it, and he would be like, "Oh my god!" And you were like, "What the fuck happened?" So we're like, you know what? We could try. Especially, I'm gonna say this, but we were like, we want the chance.
And little did we know, you don't get jack shit for gems unless you're making like a lot of views.
Yeah.
So that was great. Yeah.
Very quickly, I will say that is exactly the opposite. And now that you don't get a lot without views, that's in part my fault. I apologize, I guess, to people that want to scam the system. But back in the day, there was someone that was getting like 40,000 diamonds a month, while Mawbucket was getting like 25, and Mawbucket was getting like 400 or 500, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000 monthly viewers. And this person was getting like 2 views a video, but they found that, hey, no one's checking the videos, and they're just going by quantity, not quantity of views, just quantity of submissions. But yeah, they should have never changed the monthly rewards. That was a bummer. Those used to cap out at 30K, and it wasn't that hard. All of you would probably be getting 30K right now. So they'd change that. But it used to be, I think I did the math, and it was like on average, like 160,000 views a month would get you 30K. But they got rid of that. Sorry. But thank you guys. And yeah, great to have you. When you guys started, you were Lust and Arrogance, which I thought was fun. But I do think this branding, I don't know, Banana Luck, what do you think? Jane Joe's probably better long-term marketing, right, than Lust and Arrogance.
Yeah, I think Lust and Arrogance was probably one of the biggest hits in the game. Like, there's so many new folks joining the game after like Valentine's Day was over.
Yeah.
Asking, oh, where's Lust? Where do I summon her?
Well,
So, yeah,
that was the
I think-
reason why. Fasti is the reason why we changed it, because the first time you ever said our name in video, I was like,
That's
we need to
cringy.
change that. That's cringy as hell. That sucks. Like, we need something better than Lust and Arrogance. So yeah.
I liked it, but I like the way Banana Luck said it. Basically, you guys drew everyone in being like, oh, is this actually Lust and Arrogance or something? But then it's like, no, we're J&Geo, but we got you. So that was really good.
That was a whole game plan, and then it just didn't work. So we're like, all right, we'll just change it.
So thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves. Thank you to all of you that have been here before and are returning. A huge thank you to Banana Luck. Now we've got something I didn't tell you much about, but Mike unintentionally dropped an Easter egg for, talking about being nervous in your first video. What if we look at everybody's first video? That's what I was thinking we could do.
Oh, sweet Lord, with the game music. Sure.
Jake Smash, his first video ever, which I did just show people on stream, maybe we'll include in this, had a big red line under it because I watched the whole thing front to back, even though it's 9 minutes, which is far longer than I watch stuff. We'll have to be quiet because it's going to be pretty loud, but we'll just skip around and let's get a sense. Look at this. Somehow you look way younger. Am I crazy?
With a Watcher of Realms video. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Smash here with a Watcher of Realms video. I apologize up front for recording this on my phone. I'm having computer problems.
But let's get
Little did you know, right?
right into this. There is a big problem in Arena in this game right now. Let me show you. If we go to the ranking,
How do you do that? You got a special software where it's like an overlay end you and you're just live doing it on your phone?
So yeah, I can't hear what I'm saying in the video for whatever reason, but I use an app called Mobizen. I don't know how to pronounce it, but so yeah, it screen captures what's on my phone and it does the selfie cam at the same time, and so I just record it like that, then throw it into CapCut, chop off the first few seconds and the last few seconds, and hit upload.
Honestly, the fact that this was your first video, you just said chop off the first few seconds and last few seconds. I'm like obsessed with this stuff, right? Guys, like I spend many, many hours a day, every single day doing all this. It drives me crazy when a video starts with like someone like turning on the camera or fixing the light and then looking. So even starting just like this,
good evening, ladies.
Ready to go, ready to smile, ready to say good evening with an intro. Really good stuff. You guys can see why I was charmed by it. It was like nearly all one take, right?
It's ahead of everyone.
I think it was completely one take.
Completely one take.
One else, and then has
just gonna skip around.
I should be hundreds of points ahead of him instead of hundreds of.
Basically, Jake.
I rarely do more than a single take.
Points.
So I check if you had an outro.
All right.
No,
thank you so much for your time. Well, we appreciate.
I might have done my normal speech outro, but I didn't have like an outro clip specifically.
Yeah, no, I want to hear. So give me 1 sec.
I'll see you in the next video.
Little bit of the turning off at the end. We got the CapCut shout out, but pretty cool stuff. I mean, it maintains all the charm you have to this day of just doing it right there on your phone. I really like it. I don't know. What do we think, guys? Good first video or bad first video? What do you think, Slate?
I remember that video because I remember the arena bug. And I was like, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, for me, I was like, yeah, it was a great first video because it was a great video.
It definitely, it was engaged. It was an engaging video. Ooh, I wanted to check the views. Give me 1 second, and then we'll come back to Banana.
Good evening, ladies.
181 views. I mean, it's pretty good. First video, 181 views. A lot of people are waiting a long time for that first 100. All right, we've got Banana Luck now. Free-to-play-ish player review. 52 views, 8 minutes long. I've never seen this one, so my apologies that you guys won't hear. I'll try to go really fast then and just give like quick hits.
This is Banana Luck here. So today I'll be reviewing the game Watcher of Realms. It's a gacha tower defense game. So it's the first ever gacha game that I've ever played. So
that's so cool. This was your first ever gacha you've ever played, Banana Luck?
Oh yeah, you guys are all Rin Shadow Legend veterans, but yeah, I'm totally new to this genre of games.
You want to know a fun fact? My first gacha game was not Raid Shadow Legends. It was Hero Wars, which is a terrible game. I actually
never heard of it.
Yeah, you might have seen the ads. The ads are the most. I love the ads. They're completely unhinged. It's like a guy getting eaten by a girl, and then she poops him out, and he becomes a dog, and then he runs down a tower. It's completely wild. I will say, nice intro already. Let's keep listening. I know you guys can't hear, so I'll go really fast.
Some insights into whether it's free to play friendly.
I actually just want to see this account. Holy crap. Really nice stuff. Starting off with an early Setrum and then a Silas Virna bond. And then I think we'll skip to the outro. I mean, the mic quality is already pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, these are amazing.
Ooh, it was during the Reeve event.
It's delicious. What if I told you?
Commercial's annoying.
I think that's it for my review. So I'll probably do another upload during the 2X summoning event this week. So fingers crossed that, I'll be...
Love it. Love it. Probably going to do another upload. And you did another, let's see how many uploads. Another
400 videos by now.
Oh, you already, yeah, 473 videos. So you've done a few more uploads since then. It's great to see. I did want to check the date on that. I believe my first video was August 6th for this game. So let's see, 11 months ago, probably about the same time. I did start before Reeve, but we're peers. Me, you, War Guides, Ivy started day one, but we kind of started at the same time. Awesome stuff. I will say, I also wanted to go through the thumbnails. This is a good thumbnail. I mean, you're doing something that, some of the best creators in our space still aren't doing, Destined, which is legible text. So this is a bright green with a white on a darker background. I don't have very good eyesight. If I zoom out like this, I can still read all of these thumbnails, which honestly, believe it or not, Destined helps helps your channel when people can read what's on the. I can't go one thing without roasting it. No, but the text is very, very legible. It's a unique font. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. You've stuck with the same font and the green forever, right? That's great branding. Are you in marketing?
Yeah, as in, I've played with the fonts and like done some like special designs and all that, but green has always stood out the best, and like playing with the backgrounds, so the fonts are more visible, because people need to know like what your video is all about, like just from that glance, because they can't hear you for that first few seconds, even though YouTube has that preview. So yeah, I think as a marketer, like that's what I was taught. That
Totally.
important.
Totally. Another channel here with great branding too. We're gonna see with Slate, but yeah, just having like your thing. Which if you guys go through my stuff, I've changed fonts a bunch. I'm finally settling with what I'm comfortable with. But I remember when I chose Kaluna, which is the font that I use like 1/3 of the time to half the time now, but I did use exclusively for like a couple months ago. I used it like for every time, and now I do that and Impact. If you want to know what font is, choosing that font took me 2 months, obsessing over that font.
I know that feeling, bro.
Yeah, in too deep. Not to be clear, it's not like I woke up 9 to 5, thought about fonts, but it was something I was on my plate for months. All right, we've got Slate.
You can roast the thumbnails as much as you want. I had no idea what I was doing. I have a little bit of a clue of what I'm doing now, but yeah, I'm prepared to be roasted. It's fine.
Would you like to say how you do your thumbnails?
What do you mean?
Like how because they're hand drawn.
Well, no. Well, I turned my handwriting into a font, basically.
I mean,
so
good handwriting.
It's taken a while to get it looking like my latest videos. I managed to like properly draw the font with straight lines and stuff like that, rather than it just being my handwriting. So I think it looks a little bit more fonty now, rather than like scribbled. But yeah, my progression guide was my first ever video.
This is great. Let's hop in. I will say I can like roast you, but also tell you exactly what I think with an immediate example, because I did help you on this thumbnail. Basically, this one is terrible. This first one is terrible. I think we can all agree. It looks like a cheap ad the game would put out itself, and maybe is that where you got the picture to begin with?
No, I took a screen grab of the owner, and then I made that little glittery ball, and then I just used the text that I used in the video that I made as the title.
That's a nice choice, having that kind of symmetry. I think already the second thumbnail is looking really good. The characters are really hard to read, I think, and the font's really skinny, which is something we chatted about. But I like that. An X and a check is always a nice move. Looking good, looking good. I never saw this thumbnail's good. Did we talk about this thumbnail? Like, because this thumbnail's just, because then this basically
Well, let's put it this way. I redid that one because you hated it so much.
Okay.
And actually, that's my popular video.
I was like, wow, why was I? So basically, our mutual friend, one of your Shire mates, Bilbo, reached out to me and was like, hey, my friend's a content creator. You want to like get in touch with her? And I was like, sure, send me her link. And I watched like one of your videos. Maybe it was this one, or I don't know. We can see which has a red line. Probably it was that one I watched. I was like, I instantly made a few minutes. I was like, she's good. I'll talk to her. But her thumbnails are not as good as she is. So she has to be willing to talk to me about thumbnails. And then we talked about this thumbnail. And basically the tips I gave were like, your own handwriting's cool, but it needs to be wider. And you need more texture. And then I think it looks pretty cool. And then definitely now they're.
You can see like I think you can see the progression.
Yeah, this one's amazing. 1.9K views.
Videos. So you know.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm there to put in the work. 100%. Like I am brand new to all of this. Huge learning curve, but I want to learn. So. Yeah, I think this is a really good sort of like, you can see how janky and bad it was, and then you can see where your input came in, and then hopefully I've been, improving. Still a long way to go, but
well, I will say like these new thumbnails. I mean, this one with Mike, this Apocalypse one. I mean, these are bangers. These are really good looking thumbnails. Let's actually watch that video though. I want to see.
Yeah. No face, just voice this time.
I'm Slate, and this is the first video in my.
And it starts off with the abuse of Silas.
It's not Silas. It's in the lore. It's someone else. His name's like Melwin or something like that.
He changed his name after he got beat in the video. That's what happened.
Witness protection.
But he became a piercer.
All right, very quickly, let's watch Slate. We got the Iona cinematic. I hear some very soft but nice voiceover.
For Watcher of Realms to help you begin a new account and summon your first legendary. Let's get started.
See, that does look really cool in the video, though. And that's an interesting thing. Like in video, when you're like already dedicated to watching the video, like that text overlay, that way Iona finished, this looks really neat, I think.
First legendary.
I'm proud of my first video.
It's so far, I mean, this is very well done. Hey, you said Pokemon starter. It's nice.
Video. I got to see this video now. I started out of bomb. I got to see this one now. This is work.
Give me 1 second to click around. Sorry you guys can't hear. That's kind of ruining my whole plan.
Basically, I wanted to show anyone who started a new account how to get that first legendary. It takes about, a couple of hours. And there are a couple of campaign points that are quite tricky. So I was like, look, this is how you do it with those free-to-play heroes. And then show how to get it. So you can see the like effectively how to get your first legendary.
Awesome.
But you can see who I pulled on this account.
All right, let's see the pull really fast, and I want to check the outro. But you can see already nice editing. We've got zooms going on.
Marksman and I've mentioned a couple more epics. This is a really good start.
Waiting for the gold.
Very nice.
Oh no, I saw it too. Uh-oh.
Gold. You ready?
It is green.
Was that your first ever? Or you made a separate account just to show?
I did, yeah, no, so basically, because obviously I've been playing for so long, I was like, I'm just going to make a little account to do this. And I thought it was absolutely perfect to get Kriya as the one. Because it's like, because actually, funnily enough, if she's your first ever legendary, getting an AoE mage helps, so it's not too bad. But yeah, that was my first video.
I mean, it's pretty good. Well edited. You got a little crossfade here. Let's just see the outro.
Continues. We will be covering all aspects of gameplay and content. But if there's anything in particular you'd like help with, leave a comment and I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. Little call to action, little tag. We love it. Now we'll go pretty quick because I think these are two people everyone on the channel will know quite well. But let's check Mortar Mike and then Jay and Joe.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Well, Mike. So Mike said he was nervous. Do we think this guy's actually going to come off as nervous? Let's freaking find out.
You understand the difference of like the first time I made a video, I did not know it was recording.
A new CC approaches. Ancient Summons, Watcher of Realms. Pretty close to a similar color scheme, but did you change your font? You did. Good change.
I did. I started a lot with just by thinking about Hell Hades thumbnails. I just like that color scheme.
Yeah.
After a while, I was like, I got to change it up a little bit. Like you gave me feedback on my thumbnails too, because I'm the person that I have the checks mix of thumbnails. Everything will be in that thumbnail, and it needs to be a little bit taken out.
So this is what I told Mike. Sorry, guys, I'm obsessed with thumbnails. Basically, I was like, Mike, your thumbnails are the prettiest of everybody. They're works of art. I can see the attention to detail and everything. But that's not what a thumbnail is. A thumbnail is like one or two things and big text and make people click on it. And your thumbnails were like, I wonder if you have any of those old ones. I mean, like 12,000 things going on in some of them. Like, this is awesome, but like, this is the same color as your shirt. There's so much text, and then what's in the background, and then there's the Titan. I mean, the effort going in here and like the artistic quality is excellent, right? Like this one here. But then, later on now, like essential GV tactics. Now we're cooking, right? Boom, eat, sleep, GVG. Mm-hmm. And I mean, but obviously you've always had a great aesthetic going on. Let's very quickly, I want to see this intro where you didn't know you're filming.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness, it's working. What's going on? This is Mortar Mike, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I know that is the most played out thing to give. I was done.
I gotta point something out that's very interesting. Sorry we're spending so much time at the content creation, but it is fun. And yeah, I'm having fun doing it. You've noticed, like, Slate, this big chipper, lilt, but fully energized voice. Mike is like this, but then in their first videos, they're kind of like this. You'll see the same thing in mine when we get to that very, very quickly. And you can see it's like it's not, for me, it wasn't nervousness. It's just you don't know how to present on camera talking to nothing, and then you do.
But I'm playing Watcher of Realms, and honestly, I made it a point that I didn't want to do 30 takes. I just wanted to get it out.
Yeah.
Put it out. That was it.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Some content for you guys. I play it a lot. I think it's really dope. I enjoy it. Don't laugh. I actually play it on my mobile phone, but I found a way to hook it up to where I.
Okay, I want to see the outro. Let's see.
Hey, you see in Watcher Realms that you like and you want to see more, or you just want to see my take on it, I'd be happy to do it. I cannot find that hat anymore.
I gotta say, guys, I think we're 4 for 4 on like proper intro and outroing. You guys are very good at that. I don't think I knew how to do that. So this is pretty impressive stuff. Finally, we've got Jay and Joe. Do you not?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay, so let's see. Jay and Joe have also always had very good thumbnails.
Yes.
I take that back. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
I will. Yes.
So today I have my favorite thumbnail in Watcher of Realms, and that was the arm wrestling one. That they did a couple against each other. That's my favorite thumbnail in the entire franchise.
I mean, there's some great some of these new thumbnails. This Lucius one, this WoR song one is really cool. This newest one is really good. Let's see, the oldest one. It's something. It's a lot of orange. It's sort of orange, yellow, and gold in the background with orange and yellow text. But that is what it is. Let's see. I wanted to see that intro and outro really quick, and then let's get on to actually talk about the game.
So it's been on our minds. Oh,
Yes.
come on.
They even started with the teaser.
All right.
Whoa.
Let's see. Good in God.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our.
Wow. Okay. Starting with a teaser clip, which is something I'm a huge fan of. That's really cool.
Our YouTube channel.
And then did the music kick too?
I didn't have my Barbie thing yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Welcome.
Wow. Even hooked up the drop in the beat. I see you with when the transition to the actual intro comes. All right. Not much to talk about here. Nothing scuffed. Let's go to the very end. I will mention you guys are like the king and queen of nice, short, bite-sized videos, and this one's 31 minutes long. That's funny.
We stole all the.
It was a process.
Look, I got really lucky. You got really lucky, and
It's like a nice outro.
We may or may not making a few guys pretty jealous. So again, thanks for watching this far in the video. My God, if you guys really got this far, it truly means a lot. Because
let's see how many people got that far. 134 views. I mean, I think part of this is, you guys tell me, is this how many views you guys got at the time, or is part of this people now like you and go back and want to see your first video? Because we can show you. Tell me.
It took, I think in the first few months we were able to get that, but since then we haven't gotten any new. But yeah, I'd say, man, it took us like 3 or 4 videos and to even get like 20 views.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I'll tell you, there's no world I had 689 views on my first video. I think I had about 40. And guys, don't think I'm not an equal opportunity roaster. This is a hideous thumbnail. This is my first video ever. Welcome to Ultimate Free-to-Play Experience.
Wait a second.
What's up?
Look, you're in a different country.
I've
actually seen the old thumbnails before. That's cool.
I was in America here, and then my original WoR thumbnails I was in Germany, so maybe that's what you're feeling. But yeah, the lighting's terrible. This was probably a selfie. I had a tan back then because this obviously was before content creation, so I used to go outside. The font is hideous. I made this whole thing in whatever the version of like the free slide editor on Apple was. And yeah, you'll see. And then I will tell you, and then I have a point at the end of all of this. Which is an unintentional roast of someone I'm not going to name. But like in this, my mic is my girlfriend's phone. My camera is my phone that my girlfriend is holding. And that's it. And then I filmed everything in pieces. I filmed the audio, the me, and the game separately and overlaid all of it. All right. Which I'm building up to a point. I'll show you guys though. This is.
Hey guys, how the heck are you? And welcome to my channel.
Whoa.
My name is Fasti.
Wow.
This is Reading years ago.
Thank you so much.
Who's said one there, man?
My videos will serve as an incredible resource for.
I also had this part semi-scripted, which I would never do now. But I did have the how the heck are you?
All things free to play in Raid Shadow Legends.
iPhones are good.
Can be used. You let the game come to you. This is true in many ways. champion training. You can only
So yeah, some but I tried really hard. Let's see, did I have an outro? I honestly don't know.
It was her idea to ever do it. She's like, you're going to do this.
Probably thank you.
I wanted to thank you guys so much for tuning into this. This is something I've wanted to do since I started playing Raid over a year ago. It's actually something my girlfriend, who's been right there filming this all time.
So there you go.
Never do it. She's like, you're going to do this. It's a normal game. You might see nothing shade content. So here we are. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
All right, pretty close. This is my old, this is just this different color scheme on the outro. There you go. I actually loved this outro and I lost it and I didn't know it because it was on my Mac, so I had to recreate it. But yeah, there you go. So pretty scuffed. The thing I wanted to say,
it's pretty cute, man. I like that video.
Yeah, it's like
now I would be all about it. Not even gonna lie.
Thank you. My point is, because someone messaged me yesterday asking if I would donate to their fund, and you guys know I love supporting content creators. It's one of my favorite things to do, even financially, like with this competition. Someone messaged me if I would donate to their fund where they were raising $4,500 so they could start streaming and making videos. So that's something I wanted to talk about. We can maybe go down the line. I will start. I spent $0 on this video. It was my phone, my girlfriend's phone, my old laptop, which barely worked, all the free software my computer had on it, and that was it. Jake, I'm assuming a similar thing?
$0, just my phone.
How about you, Slate?
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Zero. I recorded the audio on my phone, and yeah, I screen record. I did the overlay, so yeah, everything was free.
Banana Luck, maybe you knew what was going on with the marketing, right? Or probably not.
Yeah, I already had a mic set up for work as well as a webcam in case I ever needed one. So yeah, I spent nothing, just time and effort.
Mike, we can probably just skip over because you already had a professional studio.
No, I'll be honest, man. Like I will say, even with all of this like toys and stuff, you literally can do this with a phone. Like you can make all of the content, get views, get people to watch your stuff. All this stuff is optional at this point. If you just make content people enjoy, you're gonna do great. That's really the biggest thing. This is bells and whistles.
Exactly. And when you're getting started, the first step is to try.
Yes.
And see if it works. It isn't to spend a ton of money and then go succeed. It's just go try. Jay and Joe, we know obviously several $100s on the Barbie and Ken shirts. What about any other equipment?
So I want to say something real quick though. The thing is that this is a pretty small community. This is not like this is not your Minecraft. So if you come in with super low stuff, you can actually compete with a lot of the higher end people because again, it's not super high end, high class community at the moment. But we bought a mic.
Hey, speak for yourself, bud.
We got a decent little mic. We had a like $1 lamp, and we had a nice camera, and that was it.
Yeah. So that's I just wanted that to show you people. I'm not trying to. There's a reason I'm not saying this person's name. Not that it would matter. It's just to say, don't think the impediment is money. I mean, even to this day, this was a Christmas gift from my girlfriend. I believe at the time it was like $140 because it was COVID. I'm pretty sure you can get it new on Amazon right now for like $70 or $80. This is the same mic that like me, Prospector, Ivy Lee, J Gigs, a lot of people. It's like a very common mic. You guys are using it. It's the HyperX Quadcast. It's very cheap. I have a Logitech, the cheap Logitech webcam mounted on my sister's old tripod. I believe this was $70 or $80 as well. And that's it for me. I torrented Photoshop from 2020. It's terrible. I'm probably about to go spend to actually buy it, but that was free. OBS is free. The game is free. So I just think if you're interested, go do it. We've got a lot of people that have risen with, it sounds about $0 spent to very few. I mean, to this day, if you wanted to replicate exactly my setup, you were talking this ring light here. I bought at Staples when I moved out to Utah because I couldn't bring my other stuff. I believe this was $22. So you're talking all in for sure, like under $300, and you could do it for free or for free for sure. And then if you want to do the bare minimums, you could do it for $150 easily.
So I have a feeling, and maybe just to defense this guy, I don't know who he is. If you have a job, you cannot become a Twitch streamer because that's a full-time job. You know, like it's unlike YouTube, you can do that on the side, But Twitch is, even if you devote all of your life to Twitch, the likelihood of you getting picked up is not very big. So if you wanted to do Twitch, yeah, you probably need enough money to sustain you for at least like 3 days if you're lucky. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I think it was about, I might just say equipment wise and stuff like that. Your time is a totally separate thing, but equipment wise, you can totally do it, guys. That I just want to motivate people. I'm trying to be
totally
very positive. Yeah, Itzy Bird Mitchell saying Twitch is top heavy. Yeah, without a doubt. I still haven't even applied for partner. I don't know if I'm doing that anytime soon. I don't want to risk it and get rejected. All right, so if we now get to the real questions, let's talk about the actual game. Let's talk about Watcher of Realms. Let's go down the line. Jake Smash, what is your favorite and what is your least favorite thing about Watcher of Realms?
My favorite thing is the problem-solving aspect. How there's just a million ways for most content. Newer content, it's a little different. The hardest stuff, we don't have many options yet, but I love the problem-solving aspect and how you can problem solve in a number of different ways in order to get to the same solution. So that's the part that I love about it. The part that I hate about this game is all of the gear swapping. I loved the fact that I could do it for free coming from Raid when I started the game, and the more content that gets released, man, it irks me. It's so bad having to gear swap all the time for GBG and for Guild Boss and for Gear Dungeon and all of the different times you just have to swap gear around. It hurts my soul a little bit.
What do you guys think about the gear swapping? To me, it's still an enormous plus. Probably still one of my favorite things.
I barely ever gear swap, and I'm like top 100 arena, and it's like, it's really not, and I have a pretty good 50k on Guild Boss. I'm decent on Setrum 2. You know what I mean? I feel like
Setrum 2.
Yeah, but so I guess my point is that I'm like a hyper competitive personality, right? So you can do good enough without swapping gear for sure. Yeah. But if you really want to like min max and like Apex stuff, then you have to gear swap because of the different thresholds and the different stuff of the different content. But yeah, you can absolutely do good enough without swapping. So I guess it's kind of more of a me problem.
I think. Please.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think for me, what I liked is the fact that you can gear swap. Again, coming from Raid, it really infuriated me. So I love that. But I think the thing that drives me up the wall is the auto fights. I wish it just saved your gear on the auto fights.
Yeah.
Because there are so many times where, I have moved gear around and I've done stuff, and then I've just like, I've just got to quickly do my guild boss. And, you then get like 20k, I'll get like, I'll get that like 40k, and I'm like, I know I'm over 50k. What is this? So I really wish when it saved the fight, it saved the gear. I think for me, if it just did that, I can get away with moving gear around. That's fine.
Really quick, we've got a lot of people in chat saying whether or not, actually, we still have 60 people watching. Everybody, if you gear swap or don't gear swap, let us know, because we're having a lot of people say one or the other. I've got a hot take, and then I want to hear what you were going to say, Jake. I don't mind that it doesn't lock on the autos. It does that in Dragonair, which was great. But it felt super OP. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, you beat that content and you're done with it forever. And I think if we got it, it'd be like the ultimate luxury. But I've only ever seen it in Dragonair. I've never seen it in another game. I don't know if you guys have. I think that'd just be, to me, maybe it's because I started with like Raid. It's crazy to think you could have something like that. What were you going to say, Jake?
I was agreeing with Slate that if I could lock the gear, that'd be great. My thing is time. I've articulated this to a number of people a number of times, but like I have very little free time. So if I have to spend, if I, like Slate was saying, right, all of a sudden my guild boss team does 48k. I'm like, what the heck? Right?
Yeah.
And then I have to go find out which champ is missing, 1 or 2 pieces of gear, and then spend an extra 200 diamonds to get over 50k if I want to that day. Just the extra 5 minutes when that happens, or like I said, trying to min-max content because of the different thresholds in different content. It's just super, super frustrating for me.
What I think would be great right now, I believe we have 50 gear plans. If we can make that like 150, if you guys don't know, they're about to add like gear locking to GVG. So you can lock that at the beginning of the week. Oh, sorry. You want to say, Mike?
No, you already said it. They're adding gear locking, so there's a little bit of relief for GVG. You can set it and lock it, which is great.
So assuming they can do that, they can do it. Sorry, Jake.
Sorry, that'll help for sure. I don't know if it's practical, right? Like, I don't code games at all, but if we could like add a champion to our team, and then I don't know, by clicking on the champ or holding on them, whatever, selecting them in some way, we could choose different gear loadouts that we've specifically saved to that particular person. I don't know.
That'd be great. You could, that would be amazing. You could click on Zila 2 and then you get GR3 Zila 2, or, you know, Arena Zila 2, Guild Boss. That would be great. I think if we could just get the gear locking, which is coming for GVG, if they can do that, do it for Arena. Just let you lock it in on Monday. Maybe Arena's closed on Monday. I can totally live with that. Lock it in at any point. And then, Jay, I could really live with the one that's day of Arena. I saw you smiling. But yeah, then it's like you could, at the competitive things could stay competitive. And then the only time, because everyone will advance their accounts enough once you have PODs and stuff, you can put all your best gear on Guild Boss 2, and then the next best, whatever is remaining on Guild Boss 1, and you can fill out with POD all the auto stuff. It would only be when new content comes, like Epilogue, which I could totally live with. But maybe there's a middle ground, or maybe they'll go full Dragonair, which if you don't know, you could pre-load the whole team with the gear you use, which was remarkably powerful, like remarkably.
I think the only thing I despise about the current gear set saving system, and this might just be me, but I hate the fact that it's so unorganized, and every time you edit a gear set, it brings it to the top. Like, I want to be able to have all my Guild Boss gears, and then I can be like, click, 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 or I want all my stuff. And I honestly, when it started, I thought it would be set. So I went through and I made 50 gears, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like up to 50. So I could then like spreadsheet this stuff. And then I saved it, and the one went to the top, and I was like, no.
It's not user friendly.
No. That's a great point.
You know, it's that kind of stuff that I'm like, I very rarely use it, because trying to find what I've saved takes more time than just gearing it.
To piggyback off that, like when I have been resetting my APOC 2 each week, I delete all of the previous ones, even the ones that stay the same, and resave all of it so it remains in like a 10 block chunk. But yeah, it's annoying. We could work on that. Thank you so much, Jake. I guess let's go to Banana now. Banana, what's your favorite thing about Watcher Realms?
I think it's like what Jake mentioned. I think the challenge that comes from the content, I think what I enjoyed, especially recently, was Eternal Spire. I think having just the right units, even though it's just at level 1, everyone is at equal playing field. So I really enjoyed like just making content on that, trying to make it as free to play as possible, so that people can stop commenting and saying that I'm a mega whale, I have Halloween, I have everything I need. That's why, I'm clearing stuff. And yeah, I think like more of those sort of content will really like encourage players, because there's really such a big hoo-ha on like how Halloween is just an essential unit for all endgame content, which is, like one of the Discord mods is always complaining about it. And I just find it so funny and so sad at the same time that sometimes I'm just thinking, hey, look, here's another content that requires Halloween. You're not going to clear it.
It's funny because it's great things. Jake and I actually this weekend are filming a video on that. Not the hottest topic. I mean, not the most unique topic. I mean, everyone's talking about it, but that is coming. But also, it's funny, right? It's like a new piece of content. It's like, I wonder if Elowin and Praetus will be good there. And the answer's been yes, like 10 times in a row. That they're 2 of the top 3 champions or something. Would you say that's like your least favorite thing, or just something that makes you giggle, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's frustrating, especially with like Epilogue Stage 6, right? It took us so long to actually figure out how to do it without Valderon, because like the last phase, I'm not sure if anyone here has like tried to clear it, but the boss basically does this big AoE wipe, and if you don't have Halloween at A1 or some other units that can do damage reduction, you basically just have all your units die. But having Valderon there is just a cheat code, because he survives 3 times. And it took me like, I think 3 days to figure it out that, I could do it with some manipulation, with some like different sort of heroes and like really min-maxing Eloin's gear to get there. And I think that's just not achievable, at least for people who are just doing this for fun. Like, you wouldn't want to spend 3 days just trying to clear one stage of a new piece of content.
I do think it's kind of a slap in the face to normal players. That's like, most people don't have every hero, let alone a lot of heroes, just have their couple few. And I think they should put more thought into making content very difficult, but beatable with normal-ish heroes. And then if you have an Eloin, or really if you have like a Valderon or a Praetus, then it's like, okay, congrats, you pulled the cheat code, you can go use it. But it shouldn't be you need the cheat code, right?
Well, that's a nice thing, Banana. Something I'll probably cheer you up is that Glacius. All you need is A5 Glacius, and he'll survive any kind of damage.
Just get an A5 Glacius, Banana.
Well, I put for the Glacius banner and I got none of the banner units.
Spoiler.
All right, thank you so much, Banana. Slate, any least favorite thing you want to add in?
Yeah, so the problem solving, absolutely. But I know it's going to sound so cheesy, but genuinely, one of my favorite things about the game is the community. I don't know how
cheese ball.
But the thing is that like, you play these games and they're great fun and different things like that, but it's playing with other people that is what keeps you engaged in the game, right? And and so you've got your guilds or whatever it is, and it's like that is a really solid community. And then also, like, again, moving to the CC stuff, it's such a welcoming community. And I think when you talk about such a young game such as Watcher of Realms, it is the reason I think people are sticking with it and seeing the content grow, is because the community is like, hey, we've got a good vibe here, let's see how this game grows together, rather than it being like, well, there's nothing keeping me here because there's no good content, and the vibes aren't there,
Yeah, it's pretty great. Cheeseball aside, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to do stuff like this, like make 14 hours of time zones work, it'd be very hard with other gaming communities, let's say that. Least favorite?
Yeah, so I think it's that thing. So my least favorite thing about the game is the way it's headed with heroes. So one of the things I love about this game is the awakening system. A lot of games you get dupes and they're useless, whereas here it is very exciting to get awakenings. And the problem is that the more heroes that they put into the pool, the harder it is to get those awakenings. And, you do get a lot of summons, which is great. But my concern is, and again, coming from something like Raid where you have like 800 heroes, but you only need to try and get them once. Here it's like, we need those awakenings. So I don't want that many new heroes. Like, I love the new heroes, don't get me wrong. I love them. I just don't need one every week.
Yeah.
So, and I think there should be baby versions in the epic. So take an Eloin. Yes, we have Medan, but you can't get through a lot of content with just one cleanser. So yeah, it's like, I love the shiny, but I would like less shiny.
Yeah. The hierarchy in the rarities, like the pyramid of heroes, is upside down, which is idiotic, in my opinion. Like the way you think you should have a bunch of rares, then you have epics, then you have legendaries, and it gets more narrow, and it's an upside down triangle,
Yeah.
Jake?
And like
sorry.
the Cuke was such a fantastic hero for progression. It's like, here you go, here is a rare that does one job only, and it can help you do certain things. And I don't mind legendaries being ones that are like, they do 5 jobs in one. It's like, that's what a legendary is meant to do. But it shouldn't be to clear content you need, 8-10 legendaries. It should be that, the legendaries are, again, nice to have. They are fantastic, like you said, cheat codes. But, most of the heroes in this game are just unusable. And rather than releasing good epics and rares and making it easier to then get away. Yeah, anyway, so like, I love the awakenings, but I don't like how the speed at which the hero pool is increasing, because it takes away from the point of having awakenings.
Yeah. Were you going to add something there, Jake?
Yeah, that's also a concern for me is just how top heavy, and what both of you were saying, how top heavy this game is with regard to champions because of how damage is calculated, right? So you have to have higher stats in order to actually do anything. And oh, guess what? The only champs that have higher stats are the legendaries. So
Yeah.
we're not going to add viable epics. We're not going to add any viable rares. The ones that you have are, minimally useful up to a certain point. And it's just, I'm concerned for what that model looks like next year.
Yeah, I one thing I'll say with maybe a positive with the Awakening things, it didn't take them long at all to go from 10x to 15x, which other games have rejected for years. I see no reason not to think when they want to rebalance, we'll go to 20x. I would feel pretty confident something like that will happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's the saving grace.
Yeah, but because the entire game is about damage or surviving damage, and it all does come down to a very stupid attack minus defense or attack minus magic res formula, Jake, you are 10,000% right. Until they directly address that, which I assume they never will, because it's like they've double, triple, quadrupled down on it. It's kind of like, epics need to just be like something super weird and niche like Laurel or like a support or something, but you can't expect them to deal proper damage because a Deimos will never have 6,000 plus a base attack, right? So something like that. What are we thinking, Mike?
So I have two things that I like, two things that I dislike, or I
Go
think
for
needs
it.
to be improved. Believe it, I actually have things I dislike. My favorite thing, of course, is the community, the people that play the game and how friendly they are and how much we enjoy it. And I will say, even though a lot of the champions are niche, I like the quality of champions we're getting. In the sense that in the past, 9 months, they haven't released a single champ. You're like, that's useful nowhere. There hasn't been one. Like, there's always something they can do.
No, Anai was released about. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say shout out to Harpoon, but he's been here since day one. So, but it's not working out for him. But the thing that I want to see the most improvement on in the game is the gear limit. I don't want the gear total to also include champions that are equipped. I don't want it to include equipped gear and non-equipped gear. And I mentioned this for a few months too. I think one of the big things that I want to see more from the game are them jumping ahead and telling what's coming. Because right now there are very few like what's next in Watch of Realms videos or content like that. Like you'll get it if you're in the Discord, you'll see it. You might see it like, very close to an event that's going to happen. That's when you start to see the content. But for right now, like we know the majority of the content we get from is like from like Destin or something. Like, I don't want to take him out of a job and I love what he does, but he kind of took on that mantle because we didn't hear a lot about what was happening until it was really close to happening. And I want them to kind of name stuff in advance. Like even if it's like, hey, new debuffs coming to the game, or hey, we're going to start locking this stuff and all this, like the patch updates need to have videos telling people what those are, because some people don't want to sit and watch somebody read them to them. They want to watch the video and get kind of
don't
and get engaged and comment.
That's all I do.
That's the one thing I want to change the most. Like, as much as I love us making content, I don't want to have 7 videos of people reading the patch updates. I just want a video and then a reaction to it, and I'm good, and I can, go eat a nutty bar or something. But
one thing that might solve the first thing you said was with the gear space. I don't know if you guys saw, there's a Forerunner update where you can customize what makes each set recommended on your account. Once that's there, you can click doesn't have a thumbs up delete. Right now, I don't do it because I think internally what they're doing is bad. But once we can auto set that and like I can make my own, export my rules, post them on my website. Jake can post it on his Discord server, so on and so on, so that you can share with the whole of the Shire, the best rules not to come out of the Shire, like something like that. I think that'll be amazing. And I think that'll be, there'll be no more real need for hiring people for gear cleanses and stuff, which I cannot wait. That's my least favorite thing to do in the whole world. So I think that can kind of solve that problem. Absolutely. So yeah, chat, definitely let us know. Let's get to Jay and Joe now. What are you guys thinking? Anything not mentioned?
I think I know I agree completely with Slate with the fact that they need to have not as many heroes, but I extremely enjoy collecting them. I know it's stupid, but I'm a little bit of a, I wouldn't call myself a Pokemon girl, but it's like catch them all thing, right? I really like to have all the good ones. So that's one thing that I really like. It's basic, it's a little stupid maybe.
I don't think it's stupid at all. I think people lose sight of that. I mean, we all play the game, I guess, for our own reasons. But at the end of the day, this genre, yes, it's gacha, but it's a hero collector. And the reason you want to get the highest possible score in Semra is to get as many ancient summons as possible so you can keep collecting and so on. It's all a vicious cycle to fill the Pokédex. I mean, that might be how everyone views it, but that is the core gameplay. You know, it's all these interesting modes leading back to how can I get the most free currency so I don't have to swipe my Amex and get all the nice toys for my gallery, you know? So I don't think that's silly at all.
Yeah. That's the thing is they haven't, I don't know about a nice cycle, but one new character every 2 weeks was kind of what they were going for, and now they're dropping 2 in 2 weeks, and so I hope this is just an exception because 2 every 2 weeks is gonna be a while.
I also am hoping it's an exception, and quite frankly, maybe I'm being optimistic. I'm thinking it's an exception because this like hyper releases so many new heroes. I mean, it's great for our content and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just rough for the gameplay, and for the player base, it's kind of exhausting too. I'm pretty sure, for example, like this Pulse Party we're about to do for Hots and Glacius, which if this was 4 months ago, would be like one of the biggest events of the month. I think it's just gonna be fine. It'll be fun, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like Hots and Artemis was like the sky was opening up and God came down himself to give us little gotcha kisses. You know, like everything changes, and basically, just to wrap up, I think they're still on an anniversary high. That's what I'm hoping, and then I'm hoping we're gonna simmer up.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Slate? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if to me, the over-release means, like you said, that tiredness, and I would rather be excited and like revel in that excitement, like Glacius, like, oh, this is really cool. This is who we're going to focus on this, 3 weeks, month, whatever it is, rather than like whiplash from, oh, great new hero. Oh, and then like Jira came out last week or weekend.
Who's that?
I've barely had a chance to like be like, this is exciting before the next one. So yeah, that's it.
Very quickly, let me piggyback off of that. Selfishly, as a content creator, it's cool having all this stuff, but like I have such a long list of ideas, you wouldn't believe it. And like I think for me, I think a lot of you guys will agree. Yes, it's fun to cover the new hero and make the new guide and go over patch notes, but I like to think I have a certain thing that's like my own content that isn't just summons or guides or this. And I still want to do that, but if I want to do that and I have to do a guide every day, like people are in the comments being like, where's the praise guide? Where's the Jiris guide? Where's the Jira guide? Where's the Glacius? So on and so on. It's like, there's only so much time. Like, didn't you still want that ranking video and this and this? And it makes me very selfishly, personally feel pulled in every which direction. Do you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah. Even myself, like I was like, okay, I'm going to put a bunch of videos out like the week before, and it bumbled down basically to my summons videos. Like I got a Jira guide, I got a GVG, you got collab stuff I'm doing. Like, but so much stuff is coming. It's hard to take all these things at once, but at the same time, I am glad that much exists than not exist.
It's better than the alternative.
And exactly, it could have just been like, hey, you better be glad with that new champion put out 6 months ago. Get at it, like oh boy. But yeah. So I do enjoy some of the caveats to it. I do want there to be more. What's the better way to put it? It feels weird. I think we're at a good. To be fair, I think we're at a good pace of content. I think there's a big bump with Angry and stuff. It's kind of like the surprise after the anniversary, like you said. But I like the pace the stuff is coming out. Like there was a moment where we didn't have a lot of stuff happening before anniversary, but I like the pace of it. It doesn't feel like it's too much other than champions coming out in this like month time frame.
I agree. Any final things, Jane and Joe?
I was going to say, might as well end it on the best part of the game, which is my favorite part of the game, which is
Arena.
And here's the thing.
All right, guys. So let's move on to the next question.
Wait. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about Arena is I came from Marvel Strike Force, and every single day, Arena reset. I had a timer set at 5 p.m. every single day so I could get first place every single day in Arena to get max rewards because it reset it. Now, in this game, all you have to do is you set an auto that fights for you, and it resets every week, right? So you had to manually fight every battle in arena beforehand. It was so tedious because the same teams. The teams are super diverse in this. Well, decently diverse, and you can auto it if you've got a beautiful auto set, and it's a great time. I really enjoy myself.
I will say a nice thing about Arena, when they changed the auto-saving defense and stuff, that made a much bigger difference than people give it credit for. That was a huge update that I think people don't give the game flowers as much as I think sometimes, because it's fun to complain. But I mean, that was pretty cool. All right, so I have one more question. I mean, we're at like an hour and a half here, and that's not even starting with the few to maybe more than a few minutes I had you guys waiting because my alarm was off. But I think basically what I want to do, let's go through this final question fairly quick. We can all give our thoughts on what everyone says, and then I'll open it up briefly to the chat for Q&A. So chat, if you want to start already putting questions there, but if you guys want to or have to get going at that point, don't worry at all. So the final question kind of was mentioned way earlier in the chat actually, but I had it already, is going to be which hero needs a rework, and can you quickly theorycraft that rework for us? I can start maybe. It's Cratch, and I can fix him in like 3 sentences. All right. Give him dual faction membership and piercers. Give him, switch his A1 and his A5. So right now his A1 gives stuns, sick. Maybe make that a better A5 now. But currently his A5 is what prevents him from going into his version of the overloaded state. I can't remember it over the top of my head, but basically makes him useless for 5 seconds. And also he gets no rage regen auto, and then he can't do any natural rage regen because he's basically stunned. So get rid of that. And then finally, like the slightest bump in multiplier, or the slightest reduction in ult cost, and you've got yourself like a B+, maybe A hero, tops A hero. And he'll be amazing in Furious Torrent, which will be very exciting. He'll get like the Anai treatment for Arbiter Frost. He'll get that in Furious Torrent, and I won't have to be ashamed telling my grandkids or great-grandkids in many decades why I have that hideous young dwarf on my thigh. So that's my suggestion. What do you guys think of that?
It's gold. I like that. I like, first thing I like the faction. Dual faction was great. Yeah, necessary.
Feels easy. It feels easy to fix him, and he would not be OP at all. All right, Jake, anyone come to your mind?
Not off the top of my head. Honestly, I've never thought of it. So if anyone else wants to go first.
We can circle back to you.
Yeah, we can come back.
I would guess Banana's definitely thought of it. What do you think, Banana Luck?
I think just a very straightforward one. First one, I think Dolores A5, it needs to be 100%, or just remove that stupid tab because it just screws up all your autos. Like, you guys were talking about autos just now, and I was like, why are you guys not talking about Dolores? Because that's just the bane of our existence with her talents not triggering, and 80% is a lot smaller than you think when you don't get the rage regen 2 times in a row in the guild boss run.
Yeah.
You want to hear my fix for Dolores, and I want to know if you like it, Banana?
Sure, go for it.
You give her an exclusive artifact that at max promo, at max promo, it turns the chance into 100%, that she always does it. So it gets rid of that stupid thing. But every time you promote it, you lose, like, let's say 1% attack. So it's a trade-off. So like, she'll be less potent, but if you want to have less headache, you can take it to the max, and they can give it a high drop rate or something, or maybe you can get it from the normal forge, not just the exclusive forge.
That sounds like a shit artifact, though.
No, I mean, you'd end up with.
It competes with Kin Wisdom, I think. That's like probably the biggest comparison people always have between that and Golden Scarab.
My thinking on it is, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, there's RNG in these games, so you can accept that, or if you're willing to invest in this artifact, there can be no RNG, and it's minus 5% attack. For me, I would do it for most content, and I think it'd be cool. But
I mean, I have 2 Dolores, so it makes sense, because I just equipped it on the one that does all the auto fights, and then, like, okay, your attack is low.
I mean, that would be something, right? That would be something.
Yeah.
Definitely, though, it is.
Makes sense.
It is the headache of all headaches. I'll like do a Guild Boss 1 takeover. I get the 50k, and I like exhale. I'm like, all right, let's head back in. Let me like Dolores proof it and wait as if I never got the roll and see if I can still get 50k. And it takes forever.
Yeah, no, that's true. And at Arena, it sucks. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Very quickly, shall we go to Slate?
So I have two very quick fixes. One, just bring poison back, rather than the toxin. Like I would love more things that do on max HAP. And then the second is just for the beloved Azor, you know. And that's because no one uses him as a tank. He's a defense-based hero, which is theoretically fantastic. But the thing with defenders in this game is that unless they have some kind of invincibility passive or self-shielding or something that actually helps them stay alive, they are useless as a tank. And Azor just doesn't really... I mean, he's one of the older heroes in the game, so he's not got those new things like Edith with her knockback or Trusk with the rollout. And I think it's a shame because he's Nightmare. The only other ones we got Baron, he's fantastic, and obviously Torador is great. But yeah, I would love to see a speedy, stunning Azor with some kind of, you know, thing that actually helps him tank.
Absolutely. I'll say
in Mike's language.
Quick thing about Azor. Did you guys, I mean, some of you will know, but did you know he was a fusion on Forerunner? He was a fusion hero.
No.
I saw any fragments before from Apollo or that Discord mods. That was actually a fusion.
The Forerunner fusions were just L after L. Like, there's a reason we still don't have Celine. It's because people think she's so bad. They're like, why would you ever release her as a fusion? I will also say with Azor, and this is what infuriates me, is like he has 3,200 or so base defense. And that's probably them thinking he can't have more because then he'd be too strong since his damage is based off of defense. And that shows a colossal lack of playtesting because they could give him 10,000 base defense and his damage would still suck.
Yeah, exactly. But I do have to say, I've just seen something in chat saying that Torador's a terrible tank. He's a great tank. Torador is a great tank.
No, he's not. All right. Are you ready, Jake, or shall we go to Mike?
Yeah, sure. So two thoughts came to mind while everyone else was talking. First was piggybacking off of Slate. Give Esme neurotoxin.
Yes.
So that we've got a good epic option there for HP-based damage. And then the second option is not so much a need, but would be awesome. Let us manually switch Falcia between physical and magic damage so that she can be incredible for Gear Dungeon 2.
Yes. Wow. That honestly would be, I've heard a few people suggest that. And if they clearly are trying to make money. Let's completely pull back the curtain. We're coming up like in the second 30 minutes of our second hour on this podcast. So Moonton, if you made it this far, congrats. Ingrid only exists to make money. This entire thing is we just drained every last bit of anything out of all our whales and krakens. Let's give you the shiniest of new things. How much are you willing to swipe? I had someone DMing me, nothing bad, but basically just saying, don't you think it'd make more sense to wait and then like the more of the mid spenders and dolphins? And I said, no, all you guys would spend 20 or 50 or $100. And now they're going to have a nice handful of people, or maybe a bigger than a handful, spending thousands of bucks. And that's exactly what they want. And it's only exists to make money. So to go to you, Jake, release something else, or like Gear Dungeon 2 or something, or rehype it. And then, oh, by the way, Falcia's returning. Oh, by the way, she's getting a rework. That's a way to make money off of normal players. Guaranteed people will go for it. I like both of those a lot. Sorry, what did you say? You cut out for a sec.
I just said absolutely. I was agreeing with you.
I like that. That's good. Mr. Mike, you're giggling to yourself.
So I actually thought about this for like 3 days. So I was going to make a video on like top champs to get a rework and what the reworks were. So I'm going to give one now. My number one is Kaneza. But here's the thing. I would not say rework her kit at all. Kaneza needs an exclusive artifact. It could be that staff if she wants it to be, or it could be like a different color chi or whatever. It needs to be an exclusive artifact that gives her a 25% chance to proc stun for 1 second on her basic attacks. It's a 2-hitter, so it gives her a chance to put stun in there. A 50% chance to give her a shield equal to 20% of her health with each dodge, only if she gets a dodge off. So you want to build for speed still. Shield lasts for 6 seconds, but that's only based off a dodge, so it won't be too often. And also does 20 to 50% more damage to stunned targets. So the thing is, stun only lasts for a short period of time, so it's only a small window of extra damage she gets, but it helps her get that damage, and you can put some synergy if you wanted to combine that too and make her a more interesting champion. I think the kit is good. It's just lacking in damage and feasibility. So I was like, how do we make her a little bit healthier and still put some usefulness in the content other than just being able to regen a little bit?
That's a great one. I like that a lot. What do we think of that, everybody?
Oh yeah,
I think it's pretty spicy.
I think crowd control is something that is starting to be implemented in the game with the slows, with the freezes, and it's very exciting, I think, when you start getting into things like debuffs. So
Yes.
stun is already there, but there isn't the thought behind the stunning that I think we've started to see with slows and freezes. So I think, you know, almost backworking some of the heroes that have stuns and then bringing in stuff to make it more viable is, yeah, quite exciting, I think.
I love that. And it puts them on the path to what I've wanted since I started playing. And the one thing I miss about Raid, which is sets that don't have to do with stats at all, like sets that give abilities. So like a stun set or like a taunting set or things like this, or a set that makes you freeze, you know, and then maybe there's a set that's like really for a Cyclone or a Kineza where it's like, if you dodge, there's a 50% chance you freeze the enemy in front of you. Like you could have a set like that. It'd be really fun. I'll give my Kineza thing. So a viewer suggested this a while ago and I never got it in my head. What if every time she dodges, she counters or does a riposte? And then as long as they...
She technically does, doesn't she?
Not, she like gains her chi thing, but it's not... Imagine if there was a well-tuned, kind of big enough hit that vaulted her into proper relevance. Could be really cool. They could make it true damage and then it'd be really, really cool.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
I really like when they rework characters by giving them unique artifacts. I think it's the coolest way to go about it.
Yeah.
Because they get the money from the people who go for them, but they also make characters more special for those who are lucky enough to get them.
I love it, but also then you get in these have and have not situations of people that like have Hex's artifact and don't, you know, and so on and so on.
That's the point of the game, though. It's
Gotcha. No, I'm not just saying some people will whine about it. Always keep in my mind's eye on the complaints that are to come.
Here. Yeah.
What do you guys have in mind, Jay and Joe?
Well, for me personally, a little thing is Yurden, man. Yurden's so lame. I know he's got really high BP, so he's really good in a game mode I don't care about. But here's the thing, that I feel like he's just so remarkably disappointing. I've been wanting to make a video on it for so long. He hits like a wet sponge. And
it's so not true.
It is. Okay, at least in the content I want to use him in. Okay, because he's perfect for arena. He has the exact same spots you want to block them, but he does 0 damage. So if you even if you have Valderon giving him a boost, even if he doesn't do anything, he's terrible. He's like the worst, one of the worst chaotic units. But you know that's the thing. All right, who you want to do? Really quickly, I want to say if I have you guys, I'm sure if the podcast continues well, which I hope it will, we'll see how people like it. If you made this far, let us know how you like it in the comments. And again, a huge thank you to our 5 channels and our 6 guests. If we do continue, and when we do have Jay and Joe back on the channel, hopefully I've got better effects by then. I want like a ticker in the corner, maybe like a mod can control, and it's like it's been X minutes since Jay has mentioned arena.
For real, that is true.
It probably will never go higher than 4 minutes, but we can still try it.
He talks about arena all the time. You have no idea.
That'd be like a part-time job. We should just have somebody do that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But for you, who do you want to?
Yeah, I think. Well, for me, Giselle, because she's so disappointing.
You're speaking for Ronaldo here.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, and probably Durza. Durza is another champion.
Be named.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bad characters for ancients hurt extra. Yeah.
I disagree. That's probably 100%. That's a video I'm gonna make. I think this is gonna be good. This is good. The hype around how much it sucks to pull a Giselle. I agree with her needing a rework. She is dog shit. We're late in the podcast. I'll curse. But oh my God, pulling a Giselle is the same thing as pulling Camille. It does not change anything that's happened. It doesn't make It does not make the next pull any less likely unless Slate and the Seed Masters tell me different. It does not make it any less likely that the next pull is going to be Ardia, and certainly it does not lose your pity. Pulling a He Who Shall Not Be Named on normal summons, like if you're going for Hot Sit and you pull that guy and watch, now it's going to happen to me, on your Divines, it's like, all right, go pull another 20 and then hope it's not him again. Like you're just screwed, right? Like a Giselle is the same thing as Nero popping up for the 8th time in a 10 pull.
Except it's not, because it hurts right here, man. It hurts the heart, bro. So you see that beautiful little golden animation, and you're like,
I will tell you, as someone who has not pulled a non-Lord, and has never pulled an Ancient exclusive Lord, and has not pulled a non-Lord from an Ancient since the end of January, if I pull a Giselle, I will honestly be happy. I've gone like 350 summons without pulling anything but King Hearts and then one Twin Fiend. So even a Giselle, I wouldn't mind. I will say, people that pull Giselle, there's never been a character in a game. I've said this about a few heroes, but I sincerely think now there's never been a character in a game, and I'd love your guys' opinion, that I've played that has been a higher candidate for a rework. It's probably the most poorly thought out, lazy kit in the game, and it's useless. Do you guys agree with that? She will get a rework at some point.
I agree on that too. She was also on my list, and I just think she needs to have a chance to proc stuns of her own. That's it. That's all I need.
You like these stuns?
I mean, because she's not stopping them; they're walking by. She got to do something to slow them down. She has to block by one. Yeah, they're just walking by her, so she needs something to stay in the fight, and that will make her decent for GVG in the case if you can find a way to also keep her alive. But we're talking about a lot now.
I'm be honest, if she had burst, if that ult was a burst single target thing, she would be very competitive.
I thought it was when I tested, or I thought it was going to be in the video when she first came out and I was on test server testing her, and I was shocked by what I actually saw. You can actually watch it in real time as I'm like, guys, this is going to be awesome. I think just to show off how crazy she was going to be, I brought her into XP raid, and then just nothing. There was nothing happening. Like there was all single target damage. She's spinning around and nothing's happening, and I'm like, oh, yikes!
It's a beautiful animation for nothing to be occurring.
She's one of the best looking characters in the game, and she's useless.
Well, if you're into the goth mommies,
I'd say most people are. It's 2024, man.
Yeah, I would be happy to pull her. Like, I know she's not amazing, but it's a trophy at that point. And you know she's going to get a rework, and she's going to be just like this, only forgotten for so long and then brought back into something relevant. Let's just hope for that.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. So those are my main questions. So I definitely want to open the door if anyone wants to go. Otherwise, we'll go for probably about 10 or 15 more minutes to go quickly through these viewer questions. Here, Earl, I think, had the first question. He said, who's your favorite design? We can be pretty quick on this.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. Is it all right if it's a skin?
Sure. Yeah.
The Vienna bride skin.
Yeah.
Is just like gorgeous. And the thing is like, it's the first skin I've ever been tempted to buy. And I was like, nope, I can still just look at it in the
gallery,
in the thing. So whenever I want to, like, I don't know, get a little thing, I'll just click on the screen and be like, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, I feel like some people, like with when new skins card coming out, started saying it like it wasn't that good anymore. It's still, for me, like my definitive second favorite. I'll save my favorite for when it's my turn. But it's beautiful. That's a great choice. Anyone else come to mind, or that's your main one?
That's my like. I think she's just so pretty. And then I think, I think it's basically that's the. I mean, I love a lot of the designs, but that's the first one that I just was like, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, and I don't love the original Virna design, so it definitely elevates, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's great for this. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I've seen a new, I've got a GVG question from Prospector in the chat out soon. Should I answer it? And then
let's like, yeah, sure, because you're in a rush. We can have you answer, and then we'll get the designs from everyone else. Sure, that works.
Perfect. So how do I feel about Dahlia and Ingrid in the new GVG map? Dahlia is fantastic. Nora is fantastic. Ingrid, I think, will be absolutely disgusting. But these new maps have been very difficult to defend, and things are starting to be figured out. And I have to say, 2 free I know they're not free, but the 2 guaranteed heroes are elite this season, and I really appreciate that. That that was an opportunity for people.
So you're
But
saying like Dahlia is like S+ tier. You're saying that?
oh yeah, S.
That's a lot of S. So you're saying like all the content creators like that were like, hey, there's going to be maps where she's amazing. You're saying they were right? Is that that's what I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. She is absolutely disgustingly good.
Would you also say that the one guy who made a arena video about her being great was also correct?
We don't have to talk about that. Thank you so much, Slate. I think what we could ask you, Slate, is I wanted to ask all you guys this when we finish, but I'll ask you now. Just if there's one like random Watcher of Realms thing, and now people have time to think about it, that's like been top of your mind. Like maybe it can be as specific or broad as possible. Just like what are you thinking about right now in the realm?
I am thinking that the Dwarven Association shop needs more things.
I love it. I think that's something in the future I want to always be asking people, because like I also like that's so specific and random, but you're so right. Like that I always have stuff like that coming in my head.
It's too damn laggy.
Oh my! On the phone, it doesn't even work.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't give me on the lag.
That's me every day. Stop it. Quit reminding me that I do that every day.
Oh my god! It's like clicking 20 times.
It's not
like
even
marketing.
like the thing. I mean, the actual shop it is slightly better, but I wish, you could get Mithril in that main shop, or you could get. I know you can get it in the arenas and stuff like that, but that first shop, I think would be nice. And then you need more stuff for epic tokens. I think you need more stuff. Yeah, I just think the whole thing. I just want more, basically. So.
WoR gives you more.
I mean,
first, dang it.
WoR does give you 2,000 mithril for your epic tokens a week now, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. The update was great, and I'm like, this is a good step.
That's an extra 12 max artifacts a year. That's awesome.
I love the math. That's beautiful.
You did the math, yeah.
Thank you, Jake. Let's say goodbye to Slate, guys. Slate, thank you so much for going, for coming. One of our big top 3 winners. Slate, can we confirm now? You actually were saying today. I don't know if I have time today, but very soon we can tell people. Very soon we are going to be able to get that video for people, because we need to stop getting asked that question.
Yes, yeah, it's happening. I promise you guys, it's happening. All the tinfoil hats will be on, and I will try and explain the probability stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on and hosting. I just want to say, it's been great fun, and you guys are all fantastic. So yeah, this was just such an amazing thing that you started, Fasti. So thank you again to you, and I will see you guys all soon.
Bye.
Thank you, Slate. You guys heard it here first. Next time you see her on my channel, she will be wearing a homemade tinfoil hat. Thank you, Slate.
I do feel like hero designs wise, I think there's a lot of like hero designs that are very cliche, like arrogance, having like Satan. That's like something that you see in almost like this every kind of this kind of game. I think design wise, what I really like was Demi. I mean, she's very underrepresented. You don't really use her anywhere, but I think just pivoting away from like jiggle physics, I think that's just a good step, because with Lars and Anora, we just went very deep into that hole, and I just don't like the direction that the game was taking. So yeah, really, and like the permanent invisibility thing was really interesting as well, like her kit and all that. It's just a shame that, whenever people pull Demi, they're gonna be like, oh, shucks, I put her, like, no one even uses her anywhere. And yeah, if you use her in GVG, people are just gonna bait you out and like kill your Demi from the get-go. And that just sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to go talk further about character designs and sexiness versus too much sexiness, I actually know a couple that would love to get into that topic with you.
Professional.
Demi is really cool. The problem for me with Demi is she's just for me, like Morgan Light. I just think Morgan looks better, but she does look amazing. Morgan looks that good. Shall we go to you, Jake? Who's your favorite design?
Favorite design. I don't know. Off the top of my head, not because of the sexy factor that we're discussing, but I really like Dahlia because my wife and I are both really into like gardening, homesteading type stuff, right? So fact that she's like themed around this like botanical element. I think it's super cool. I love it.
There's a character I covered in yesterday in my Dragonair video. I still have a couple more Dragonair videos to get done. And his kit, I think, ended up sucking. It also doesn't matter because I will never play Season 4 of Dragonair, unfortunately. His name's Perseus. If you wanted to watch the very beginning of that, he's like a guy coming out of a Venus flytrap with like these weeds coming off of his back. It's insanely cool. But yeah, I think that theming is really fun.
Nice.
I think I will go now just to break it up because we're doing all these female characters and I don't know what it says about me, but all my favorites are probably some of the male characters. I think full stop, my favorite, it's going to be hard to beat for a long time, is Artemis. Every inch of that guy is so badass. It's like somewhere this Plague Doctor, Bloodborne, dark fantasy thing. I think he's the coolest guy. And then I'll just go based off of what's the direction Slate took us. The Cetrum skin is probably never going to be beaten for me. Especially since there was a very brief, very idiotic moment where I thought I could get it. Because I pulled early on that banner and I pulled like 900 summons, which at the time, not that many people were filming themselves pull 900 summons. I was like, yeah, I'm free to play, but I'm not really because I have all these content rewards. Maybe I'll get it. And I was like 49th. And by the time it ended, you needed to be top 50 to get it. I was like 40% of 100th places points. I was like, I would have had to spend thousands of dollars to even think about it. It was not even close.
Yeah. I'm happy how they do skins now. I'm a real big skins guy. I love skins, so I missing out on skins would really bum me out.
Yeah. Do you want to say your favorite design, Jay?
Well, actually, it's a tie between my homeboy King Ghidorah, the Yermit skin. The Yermit skin looks so cool, and I love Godzilla. I don't know if you know, there's a 3-headed dragon named King Ghidorah, and he's the coolest guy ever in all of Godzilla, and he looks exactly like him. And also, I feel like he was at some point in time he wasn't going to be unnamed, because why does the skin look like an arbiter?
Yeah,
it's like they changed it or something. But other than that, I'm tied with Ingrid, because come on, Ingrid's the coolest cat. Like, yeah.
She's pretty sweet.
That character just sitting on a chair throughout everything. That's just awesome.
It gives me some Xavier vibes.
People are so annoyed. If you go to the comments, guys, I don't know if you've been seeing it. People are so annoyed that she's sitting in the chair.
They want to see her butt. That's the whole point.
You can't see their butts when they're playing anyway. Like you can turn her around in the gallery if you want to see her butt. It's crazy to me that you can watch the cinematic. Then, from what I hear, I honestly still haven't watched it. But yeah, I mean, Leia's sitting down. Are we forgetting that? I feel like people are forgetting that. Apparently, it's a watch her lord thing.
Oh, she's so great too. But who's yours, Ben?
Mine is 100% in it. 100%.
It's so cool. Yeah, what a cool free character. I want to give Moonton are the guys for doing that. I love that so much.
I love that. I love Egypt. I love it. It's something I've always enjoyed. And the fact that he's an Egyptian god, it's like, wow. For me, it's super cool.
Yeah, and 4 days away.
Yeah.
You'll get him 4 days.
I'll get him in a month.
There you go.
Nothing grinding.
I love
how about you, Mike?
Quotations are around the word free.
No, they're not. You get them. Just wait. Be patient.
You get them.
You will get in it eventually. Everyone will get it.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Hands down, not even like a second guess. Freaking Boreas. That new Boreas skin is nuts. You have to actually seeing it in the game is cool. It looks great in the game. And you put me onto this, Jay, because I got it like right after you told me about it.
Yeah.
But playing with it, all his animations are different. Like all of his animations look different. His abilities look different. They look cooler. So, and plus, like it's just overall, just like if you're gonna make a skin in the game, it has to be at least that awesome.
Yeah.
The Boreas skin is a win for me.
I thought I saw the promotional stuff and I was like, that's kind of lame. And then right when I saw it in game, I immediately DM'd you. I was like, dude, you gotta get the Boreas skin. Yeah.
It was way better in the game than like the ad to get it. It was way better.
All right. I think it's pretty cool that we all had different favorites. The designs in this game are definitely pretty awesome. I was on a raid podcast, not a raid podcast, but for the Fateless games, and obviously we talked about Watch Your Realms and raid a lot. And that was one thing I think that I could shut him up with. It's like, look at the rendering on your characters. I don't know if anyone played Raid. I went back and maybe it was when we were on stream, Mike, and actually looked at some of the characters.
Hands?
Yeah, well, just I didn't realize, like, we've been spoiled now, and this is definitely a huge step up. Itzy Burr is simping over Hot Sit in the chat. What else is new?
You see him, right? Double message.
Yeah, he's
understandable.
Number one Hot Sit simp in the realm. Let's get pretty quick to go through these last few questions. Would you smash Silas? For me, it's a pretty hard no. I don't think Silas is such a cool looking character. Anybody feel different?
I'm not gonna feel different about that one. I don't think I should.
Would you like Silas?
I do like Silas.
If you weren't married.
Oh, come on.
If you weren't married, would you bang that fake character?
The blind guy. The blind guy with the
skin.
crazy ex.
You think you like his kit more, you said?
Yes. I think I prefer his skin.
Oh, his skin. Oh, I thought you said his kit. Well, let's pretend you said you like his kit more than his looks, because that's a perfect transition to the next question, which is who's your favorite kit? I think if we're trying to take out all of trying to have an interesting answer, I think the best kit in the game is Elowen. I think it's gonna be hard to argue that. She does 4 strictly unique things.
You're talking about literally best or most interesting?
Maybe it was most interesting. I mean, both. It is the most interesting too. She's wears 7 different hats. If anyone has a different answer, definitely let me know. But
for me, it's my homegirl Valeria. I think Valeria is so incredibly cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's one of the only ones who could literally solo heal herself in a lot of content. Nobody else can do that. And her finishing suicide explosion thing, that's also AoE. And she just ignores half of their defense if you have any awakenings on them. She's the coolest. I love her. Yeah.
No. Ever since they reworked her so she can actually die after ultimate, it feels very clunky to me. Finding that window and being able to control it. But I hear what you're saying. It's pretty fun. Anybody else have another good answer?
I got one, and I'll be quick then. Because I got him, because I honestly did not pay attention to his kit until I got him. Thalin. Thalin's 2 or 3 different champions in one. Yeah. And you don't realize it until his ult has incredible range, does crazy damage. Then when he gets his weapon back, he throws out stuns all the time and extra damage. It's a lot more to the kit than I thought. It involves a lot more timing. But now I'm using him in Semra boss to use for stuns, because
he's great in Semra, yeah.
Yeah, he could do tons of stuns and really good damage. And I think he also gives radiant erosion too. So it's just so much in his kit that you don't realize is there. It's just like Valeria. You don't know how good they are until you have them and you start using them. It's wow, that's a lot more to it than I thought.
I think design-wise, he's also really cool because not looking, but he's like Thor, because his ultimate lasts as long. For instance, whenever he uses his ult, if somebody attacks him, he sucks his weapon back in so he can start hitting the person in front of them, which I think literally design-wise, I think that's awesome and a cool idea. But
I do like the fact that my champion won't just keep doing the ult while they're about to die. I like the fact that he decides to defend himself. Yeah. I'm here for that.
Anything from you guys, Jake and Banana?
I'd agree with Elowen. She does too much.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just did my all heroes ranks for Esotericist yesterday. People can go check that out if they haven't seen it yet.
Watch it.
I hope you liked it. But at the end, I ranked Elowen number 1 in the faction, and I kind of was it's not that she can do 1, 2, 3, but she has 4 really unique things. And then I forgot she's the only non-cost generator in the game that is a cost generator. She does so many unique, crazy things that didn't even come to my mind in that moment. What about you, Banana?
Yeah, I think for me it's a unit that I haven't actually gotten. I'm not sure if I got his name correct, but Kaidi, the guy with the birds.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't gotten him before, but during the Dahlia event, we saw crazy damage coming out from Dahlia and K. I think there were 500 million in one run. And I started looking at his kit, and it was actually pretty interesting with the different summons that he got out. And I think with Anora's introduction with buffing summons, it'd be really cool to see this genre of heroes coming up, because now it's just all getting very strong marksmen or fighters that destroy content. And I think taking that summons route would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's just another way to beat content. And maybe you could even like forego with defenders if the summons can tank it instead, like how Cyrus does it. Because like with the new GVG map, you're seeing people facing their Cyrus inwards so that, you know, things can never breach it. Yeah, that's just disgusting.
Yes.
That's a cool answer. I'll give one other very quick one. I think once they add the dots or whatever they're going to do, because they said they were going to do it in a dev Q&A, who knows if we can believe the written ones, but for Lucius, and we can actually track him, like the lore that goes into his kit and then the way it acts, if it starts acting the way it should, is really cool. Like he's fighting off the demons and then they overtake him and then he's like super strong, possessed by the demons. So once we can manage that visually, I think it will be really awesome stuff. I didn't see too many more questions. There were a couple random things here and there. I'll address two very quickly. Someone said, how could we rework Cyclone to make him good? You would need more content that requires pushback. He would need more tank stats, or he would need a full rework on all his DPS because dodge is unnecessary. Basically, pushback's unnecessary. It would have to be add new content that you need that, or a full teardown rework. I know he looks cool, so people are disappointed. I know someone mentioned Cyclone looks just like the Tempest Tyrant, who like in those little minions he summons.
Right?
Basically, those tornadoes that the minions throw. If Cyclone could do that in like these crazy endless range those little tornadoes, that'd be fun.
What's the ballpark of how many Legos are in the game? Like I know there's a pool, but like how many are actually in the game like right now?
It's like
a ballpark.
It's about 50 normal ones, just about 50. I don't know with including the ancient exclusives. I'd have to go and count. Those are basically questions. So I'll ask you guys all the same thing I asked Slate. We'll go right down the line. So starting with Jake, anything specific to broad, random, anything in the realm on your mind right now?
We need more artifact storage.
I love that. That's great. Sound off for that in the chat, guys. We still have a good amount of people watching us. That is, we guess I got 60 people. I mean, we preach, correct. Banana, what about you?
They are really enjoying more immortal like codex modes. I think like having the 3 extra modes that came out really spiced up the game. And I think right now we have Conqueror's Codex, but we don't have one that's focused on just mages. I think having one of those would be great. And
I love that.
There's new content for people to like make use of every single hero that they got. Because I got Morrigan like 2 weeks back, but she's still level 1 because I don't need her anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. I think I don't love a lot of the new Codex bosses, but what I am starting to love, and maybe this is something you were speaking to, is now it's like, ooh, we haven't had this one in a while, and like not having them on repeat every month, and you have a little space. It does make it more exciting to be like, you know what? I will sit down and pound out Healer Codex for far too long, you know? But if you have to do that every month, it's less interesting. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think somebody just asked a question. I just missed it. They said, do we play any other games outside of this as well? I play a ton of Elden Ring. A ton of it. I cannot wait till you get to it, Fasti. You will have a glorious time. That's what we're going to call it. Yeah, we got to get him to get an Xbox one day. But yeah, I love it. But yeah, this game is great. Love the game. Enjoy the game. Especially stuff like this.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure I didn't answer the question, right?
Not at all. It's okay. I'm used to it.
Jesus.
You're in Mike World, and I like being brought to Mike World, but I have to accept that when I'm in Mike World, things go different.
And Mike World.
Yeah, I rolled unsuccessfully. Critical failure. Mike ignores your question.
Speaking of ignoring your question, what the hell did you ask? I forgot.
Oh, it was just like, is there some like random thing, like what's been on your mind a lot lately in Watcher of Realms? Like something you want to see fixed, something you're really enjoying, just anything, you know? And it could be the smallest thing, you know?
Jeez, I didn't answer that question.
For me, it's like the smallest thing, but more icons. Stupid, maybe.
No, I like that.
Yeah, avatars. Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
That is a good point.
Actually, yeah.
You know, in a lot of games, you get the avatars of the heroes you have. That'd be cool, I think, if you're like, wow, I got Ingrid, now I get to show. That'd be cool, I think.
Even better if you were to get like Ingrid and do something with her, like an achievement with her. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that. I like that would be cooler. That's good.
That's a cool idea.
Anything for you, Jay? Kind of the same.
No idea.
Fair enough.
Gonna have it.
And I have to agree with Jake. More storage.
That's a server problem, though. You know, I think
There's always a way to.
them directly that. You know, hey, can we
I didn't ask about artifacts.
Heroes. No, he didn't ask about artifact. No, but yeah.
I can't imagine they couldn't make it better for artifacts because it's really frustrating, especially if they're going to keep releasing new exclusives. You know.
Yeah.
I'll give my thing, which I just had, and now I know. More and more, every new hero, they're adding in like hits 5 targets, hits 10 targets, hits 8 targets. Like those specifics, I want it for everyone. I want them to go back and tell me how many Valkyria hits with her basic attack, because they still don't. I want a full revision on that, and I'll not gonna stop talking about that. We had a bunch of questions about Withering Waves in the chat. I still do play every single day, but until I build my PC, I won't be able to stream it again. But stick with the game if you want to, and then it will be coming. And yes, I'm looking forward to playing Elden Ring. That's not what this is about, though. I think this is the end of our first episode of Podcastidious. Thank you guys so much. Going down the line, Jake Smash, Banana Luck, Mortar Mike, Joe and Jay and Geo. Thank you guys very much. And thank you to Slate, obviously, as well. I'm really happy we were able to make this work. Good luck, Mitchell, editing this, my friend. I hope you do a incredible job. Make it so it looked like I talked less. Yeah, we love you, and I'll love you more if you make it look like I did less talking. Appreciated everyone that stuck with us. We were between like 57 and 65 viewers the whole time. I think that for Twitch, for me, that's pretty good. So it seems like people like this. If you made it to the end on YouTube, the edited version or whatever, let me know if you want to see more, and already start telling who you want as guests. And then we're definitely gonna have, if we keep going, we'll have all you guys back at some point, I'm sure. But any other guests that you haven't seen, and then certainly let me know like topics you want to see covered. I think these are going to be pretty. Sorry, I'm laughing. Mitchell said, "I hope I do a good job too." It reminds me of my brother when he was little used to say, "Guys, don't you hope I win?" Like when we play a game together. But yeah, any other topics you want to see covered and stuff, but these will be fairly loose, fairly long, fairly informal. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you all very soon. We're wrapping up Podcastidious. Share with your mother, but you don't have to because she's been sitting next to you watching the whole time, right? Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Fastidious.